How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs co-beat writer for On SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. I hope you guys are doing well today. Thank you so much for stopping in. Today, we are going to be breaking down the quarterback matchup that we are expected to see come Week 5 for the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Jacksonville Jaguars on Monday Night Football. A very big quarterback matchup, and it really depends on whoever has the better game could really come away with the victory. While Patrick Mahomes does have a better track record in success record, there is still a world where the Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence can find a way to be as explosive as he was in college and from the time that we saw from him early in his career. He is coming off of a shortened season last year due to several injuries. Thus far this season, since having Liam Cohen in Jacksonville helping him, an offensive-minded first head coach, might I add, you can kind of see this Jaguars offense look a little bit more cohesive compared to how it was last year. Last year, for Jacksonville, you had Brian Thomas Jr., and that was pretty much all your offense. Now you've got Brian Thomas Jr. Brenton Strange is also a guy to pay attention to on the receiving side of the football. Trevor Lawrence will surely be handing the football off to continue the Jaguars' ground game that they have been so successful for this season. But all in all, let's break down the comparisons and the way that both of these quarterbacks can be dangerous going into Week 5. Starting off with our Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Now, I feel that his success rate speaks for itself. This is a guy who's won multiple MVPs, multiple Super Bowls. He is a known winner in the National Football League. Since taking over the starting quarterback role in 2018, Patrick Mahomes just now endured his first 0-2 start of the campaign. Now, after everyone was concerned, I was saying, the Chiefs have fallen apart. The dynasty is no longer after that 0-2 start. Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the offense and really the entire team stepped up to reclaim themselves and put themselves into a 2-2 record going into Week 5. Patrick Mahomes this season has been electric for the Chiefs. As always, not much has really changed from what fans should have expected. Currently still leading the rushing numbers. Mahomes will likely have that number taken from him this time around, knowing that Isaiah Pacheco is right behind him. However, I think that the way that the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes find a way to win this ball game is by having their pinpoint explosive offense that we've seen for 2 weeks now. Against the New York Giants, you were able to finally have an explosive win, a 22-9 victory, and it really didn't come off of the back of Patrick Mahomes. If you think about it, sure, he had to be the guy throwing the football, but those wide receivers were the ones making the plays. It was in Week 4, though, where Patrick Mahomes really stepped up and reminded everybody the kind of player and MVP quarterback he can be. Throwing 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers. He had a great game. Need I add, Patrick Mahomes has a flawless record against the Jacksonville Jaguars, something that I think, while it won't be mentioned or really honed in on, at least in practice, I think it's got to be sitting in the back of his mind. He knows that he has some dominant victories over the folks in Jacksonville, or the team in Jacksonville, rather. But he will need to continue to use his offensive weapons in order to get the job done. We cannot see a repeat performance from how it was in the first 2 weeks of the campaign, where Patrick Mahomes was doing everything if the Chiefs want to take down the Jaguars. The Jaguars have been a very sneaky, underrated team this season. They have more wins than the Chiefs do. They're 3-1. and they have home field advantage. You would have to believe that the Kansas City Chiefs going into Jacksonville will be a matchup that Jaguar fans will pack their stadium for to make as much noise in hope to disrupt and halt the Chiefs' winning streak at 2. But when it comes to Trevor Lawrence, there is a flaw that stands out in his game that we've seen throughout his career. Since debuting as the first overall pick, the 1-1 in 2021, he has thrown a lot of interceptions. In fact, in the regular season that he's played thus far in his career, he has 74 touchdowns and 50 interceptions. Thus far this season, he has 5 passing touchdowns and 4 interceptions with 3 sacks. It is a area that I think that the Kansas City Chiefs will have to really take up on. His QBR currently sits at a 49, which is not high whatsoever. And when you look at Patrick Mahomes, his QBR sits at 75.1 thus far. While it is still a young season, these are the kind of things that stand out. Keep in mind also that Patrick Mahomes has only tossed 1 interception this season, and he has 7 passing touchdowns. So long as the Kansas City Chiefs defense, or rather the offense, scores a lot of points, you're going to have to force Jacksonville to pass the ball. An area that Trevor Lawrence has shown to be a little shaky in his career. A career high in 17 interceptions was back in 2021, but he has been known to be a little wild with the football. Not to say whatsoever that he is a bad quarterback whatsoever, but he is a guy that is beatable. Having thus far an 845 passing yard season with 84 completions and 144 attempts, there is improvement that Trevor Lawrence has to make. And if you're a Chiefs fan, you're just hoping that it doesn't happen when your team is facing off against them. They both have offensive weapons. Keep in mind, Travis Hunter is a highly talked about prospect, rather a rookie now for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence has been seeing this. He also, like I said, Brenton Strange, Brian Thomas Jr. There is a lot of assets to Trevor Lawrence's offensive game plan, including Travis Etienne. He has been an outstanding running back thus far this season, that if this game stays close, the Chiefs defense, their run defense, which has been kind of lackluster this season, which I've touched on several times before, could be a problem to stop this Jacksonville Jaguars offense. The way that you're going to have to win this game is forcing Trevor Lawrence to make the plays. Though he has some track record of being a little inconsistent. If you're Kansas City, you're going to hope that Patrick Mahomes once again has an explosive arm throwing the football down the field to Tyquan Thornton, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce, who's closing in on a touchdown historic mark. All in all, this is the breakdown of the 2 quarterbacks going head-to-head, former first-round picks. They're both leaders of their team, and I can definitely see this being a close game should these both quarterbacks perform. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, as always, be sure you follow me over on X at Dom Minchella. I post and repost every single day. You're not going to want to miss any coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs leading into Week 5 as well for the rest of the regular season. You can also follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI. Everything gets posted there, whether that be columns, opinions, articles, press conferences, podcast, you name it. Kansas City Chiefs on SI is the place to get your Kansas City Chiefs news. And with that, as always, I will see you tomorrow. And remember, be kind to one another.